It's the OCG Fam Show. How hard can you push Herculean Harvest? Revisited. Hey there, Bob from Oregon's Constant Gardener. Welcome to the OCG Fam Show to you, my YouTube buddies. What's going on? What do you got going in your grow? What's going on in your life? Let me know in the comments. We'll talk about it. Today, what we're talking about, in a way, is the old Roman regimen. And, a lot of people, they start off with the Spartan regimen, just using the basics. They maybe move up to the Greek and they're thinking, I want to take this to the next level. I got to use more stuff. But what we've talked about semi-recently, I think it was episode 532. Well, just in the last couple of episodes, we talked about how when you're going to push, more stuff, before you start going off into a lot of this stuff, you may think about just using more Herc. It's kind of what drives the line. Do that before you do some of this stuff. In certain circumstances, in a lot of circumstances, it's worth a try anyway. And so in episode 532, we said, how hard can you push the Herc? And we got to about 8 tablespoons. A lot, especially if you're driving in there with some bloom chaos. And simple as that, using the Herc instead of using some of these other ones maybe. But a little bit of nuance to that was, if I am using all that Herc, do I need to change anything with the rest of my regimen, assuming I'm using, the Spartan or maybe pretty close to a Greek regimen? What do I need to do to make sure I'm facilitating all that going in there smoothly, not getting any deficiencies? How do I do that? Well, Scott and I talked about that in the last viewer questions episode, and I think it was a pretty good representation of how that all goes. So I want you to watch that, and I'll talk to you after. If I really want to push Herc more than what is suggested on the feed chart, should I ramp up the Athenas? Anything else I should push? Maybe slowly introduce BK to my feeds. I would say the BK is your key to that. But when you do the Athenas, that's a good question.
You certainly can. It definitely adds. What I do is slowly take them together up to about an ounce of Athenas, and then, after that, you might be seeing a diminishing return.
So,
of the Athenas.
If I'm trying to push my Herc and I'm using my BK to facilitate that, would I still use more Demeters as I'm doing this, or would I push the Herc and use the same amount of Demeters for a richer source of calcium?
Again, if with Demeters, if you go up to about a tablespoon, it just becomes something that's not as advantageous, where the calcium phosphate is what we're seeing the most for developing the plant and the flowers.
So I guess what I'm asking is, if I want to do a ton of Herc, I'm doing BK to facilitate that, am I going to see deficiencies just because I'm pushing so hard with that one thing that the other things can't keep up?
Depends on your genetics. I've done it where we've crushed it with Herc and Chaos alone and just kept everything else normal. Totally fine. But if it's a plant that is magnesium hungry, then we might see them starting to show some mag signs, and then we have to hit them with a little bit of Epsom salt or mag amp or something. But if you slowly throttle them up, they usually can handle the whole ride by pushing the Herc and the Chaos together. The Athenas, adding that in is not a bad idea, because it's an amino acid block helping build the cells as it's developing faster. But at a certain point, it's just you're putting too much in. It's not going to hurt anything. It's just wasting your money. Okay, what do you think of that? Was that helpful? Was that useful? Let me know in the comments and we'll talk about it. And we'll get on with some other stuff next week. I love you. I'll see you then. The OCG Fam Show. It's pretty good. It happens every day. It's the OCG Fam Show.